Right, hello everybody, I'm going to be live streaming for an hour or just over, and the good news is both the air guns I've ordered have arrived today, so very good delivery service from Palpacks. I'll get those out to show you in a second. You can just about see a bit of the Red Rider in the background there. You may also notice I've put some extra shelves up. There's a shelf there with the Polish radiation alarm on and the Geiger counter. My mini monitor Geiger counter's there with a half-face dust mask and the uranium glass and a tritium. And just there I've got two EO14 filters on that shelf there, as well as the shelf that was further to the right anyway. So yeah, should be good. I've got some posters to put up as well, but I didn't get around to doing it before this stream. So I have to just try and find any spaces I can around the wall to put them up. So, nuclear bomb scale map, one I always like, where you can see how small conventional bombs are compared to nukes, and even how small as regular nukes are compared to hydrogen bombs, as in thermonuclear bombs. So that's a good picture as a scale one to have on the wall. Yeah, did you see the picture I sent you on Twitter of the guns, Mike? I'll show you them in a second. They all came just now. About 6:30 they came. Yeah, don't forget to like the stream, everybody. So there's the Fallout Shelter one. I'll put that up on the wall somewhere. Capacity, I might just write 1 in red felt pen on there if it shows up. Or probably have to be a white pen, wouldn't it? So there's that one. There's a Finnish civil defence poster from World War II. Which I don't know if the gas mask has anything to do with the actual civil defence thing, but I thought that was a cool looking poster. A Lewisite one, where the US, prior to World War II I think it was, did pictures or showing different gases and what they smell like and what they do to you. Lewisite's the only one of those I particularly like the picture for. But and this one I think is quite good. So yeah, I'll put them up on the wall. Alright, cool. So yeah, let me show you the two air guns that came today. So, classic one first, Daisy Red Rider. I'm obviously not going to cock it indoors. And I'll definitely be taking this leather bit off because I know most people say that little bit of leather on there is irritating. So I won't throw it away, but this little leather cord thing on it I'll definitely take off. So there we go, that's that off already. So yeah, Daisy Red Rider airgun. So yeah, this will be good. Hopefully I might get a chance to shoot that tomorrow. And the Beretta PX4 done by Umarex, which has blowback action and everything. So how it works is you twist that, then you put your CO2 cylinder in there. I've got a big bag of CO2 cylinders to play about with, so that goes in there. Then you can either put steel BBs or 177 pellets in the magazine. I'll just use the steel BBs for now. So that's that. Obviously it's not got gas in, so I won't be dry firing or anything. But there's the safety. So you pull this bit back on the safety so you can move it to fire. Then obviously there we go. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's got a lot nice weight to it, very comfortable. So yeah, it'd be very fun shooting these. Yeah, PX4 is one of Beretta's more modern pistols. You can see some elements, especially if you look at it that way, to the M92s they did. Or the Beretta M9, whatever you want to call it. But Yeah, PX4's a bit more modern, and it's meant to have full blowback, so obviously when you use it with the gas it does that every shot. So you get a bit of recoil from it, which should be good. But yeah, I'll put the safety back on. There we go, safety back on that, trigger locks. So yeah, I'll put those down now. But yeah, so I also got for them a big bag of CO2 canisters. And 1,500 high quality steel BBs. So yeah, that's my recent purchases. So big thank you to everybody that's donated. I'll get to the comments properly now. I generally remember most people that come on the streams regularly, but if you've only been on one or two, I probably won't remember you. Yeah, Weapon Collector did an announcement saying he wouldn't be streaming yesterday, Iron Man Spartan, because he was at a stag do thing, wasn't he? Yeah, there we go, he just said. So yeah, so I'll put the posters up at some point, as well as the fact I've got those shelves there now, so I think it will look good having the posters around the wall as well as the shelves. It also means I've got a bit more spare room again for different gas masks, because obviously where those were, they're no longer in the places they were, which means I've got some more room for those. Yeah, CO2 is if it has the little canisters for it. Bing. PCP is where it has the internal reservoir. Wow, I'm more interested now, Mr. Source, because of how easy it was ordering those, because weirdly, air guns in the UK are a lot less restricted than airsoft guns are. So you literally buy from a site like Palpax, they arrange a delivery time with you so you can be in. The person comes, checks your ID at the door, then gets you to sign some paperwork, and they're yours. So that was a really good service from them. I ordered them last weekend, and they said could they schedule me in for this Sunday at 20 to 7, but be aware the delivery could be, you know, an hour either side, and I said yeah, that's fine. They came about 6:30 today, so 10 minutes before schedule, very polite, checked all my ID, signed me off, there we go. I don't know, because I've not seen a listing, so I can't say. That's strange, Mike, isn't it? Oh, we haven't done a collab yet, Tash, because as we said, that's going to be in September. So there's no... unless we've somehow gone forwards to September in about a week, which we haven't, I couldn't have done the collab with him. Right, I'll give you a timeout for that. I'm not blocking you or anything, but don't keep begging people to be block you on different channels on here. Weapon Collector already did an amnesty video where you could ask him for unblock, so you have to follow his steps to do it and not keep spamming comments on this one, please. Yeah, but airsoft is more restricted in the UK, and airsoft guns in the UK are way more expensive than the same quality air guns. Normally it is Bing, yeah. I mean, I did a big unblocking recently that actually went quite well, because a lot of the people who wanted to be unblocked have said, you know, sorry I said rude things in the past, can I be unblocked? Most of the people, apart from one or two, I had to then reblock about a week later, when they started insulting random people in the comments again. It's been quite good, but yeah. Weapon Collector would have had a reason for blocking people, but he has said he will be doing some unblock, so if people want to be unblocked, I'd rather they go on his videos and do it there, rather than, you know, constantly saying it in the streams and we're trying to have a conversation. It's barely been summer yet. The last couple of days has been the first warm, sunny days of this summer so far. I think since Friday. Every day before that's been raining, and it started raining again a bit now, so... I don't know, but in the UK there's a lot more restrictions on airsoft than air guns, so as I said, I'm a lot more interested in air guns than airsoft, to be honest. Yeah, it's very humid. Yeah, they have to be two-tone bright colours and lots of other little restrictions. Wouldn't surprise me after look at my barometer in a minute. Well, not in a minute, when I finish the stream and tap that and see if the pressure's dropping. That's good, Richard. You doing alright with those? Go to some of the old castles and things, Lava Llama. Don't bother doing like Londony shit or whatever, as much as that's what people like to do when they come here. Don't bother with any of that. Go to some of the castles and like proper historic sites, you know, enjoy the nicer parts of England. Sounds good, Mike. So yeah, here's the thing. So to give people a difference, if I want to buy an air gun in the UK, let's say with pistols, I can buy an air pistol like this, which is CO2, that you put 177 pellets in, or steel BBs. And all I have to do to buy this is be over the age of 18 and sort of show ID and all that to buy it. If I wanted to buy an airsoft gun, the same laws would apply. However, I'd also have to be have a UCARA license or similar. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't be able to get a realistic looking air pistol. It would have to be like bright colours in two tones. So yeah, it's much nicer being able to get, you know, air guns like this. The problem is being there's nothing like that near where I am. Nearly all the farmland is just owned as like owned for literally prospecting land values, where somebody buys it, holds onto an empty field, so it goes up in price when people want to build houses on it. Tell you what I'll do in a second. I might not be able to demonstrate it this well on stream, but what I want to do is, just as a few people are asking, put a mask on like the MP5 and see if I can still see the iron sight pretty well, because that would interest me if this would still be I'm not going to shoot the air gun inside for obvious reasons. I can shoot it, I haven't tried them yet, but yeah, I'm not going to shoot it inside because that's a fucking stupid thing to do. And there's your answer to that. Right, Polish MP5, Polish MP5. This one, isn't it? I really do like the satisfying weight of a decent replica. I'll do the rifle as well in a minute. Not very steadily, Iron Man. I can just about do it, but it does make my arm do that a bit. The worst one for making my arm shake is the RPK if I have the stock fully extended in the barrel, because the RPK is a lot heavier than a normal rifle. Right, let's see if this is any good then with an air pistol sight. I'll probably just aim it that way, actually. Right, okay, let's have a look. Straps on the wrong way, just a second. There we go. Right. Yep, but you can see the iron sight on this fine despite the distortion, so I'll let Hype know. But yeah. It's absolutely fine to see that iron sight. Yeah, the thing that was interesting with the Fairbairn Sykes is lots of people are like, oh, those reproduction ones are crap because they're not sharp enough. But as you see, when a knife's moving at speed, it's still easily sharp enough to cut people. And the Fairbairn Sykes is designed as a stabbing knife, not a slashing knife anyway. No, I've got two MP5s, Bing. I've got the spares and repairs one, which I did in the video where I tested it. But my actual MP5 is fine. Well, essentially 177 pellet gun, but you can put steel BBs in it as well. If you can see that on there. Or we should have just put the sheath on it, but it was absolutely fine anyway. That's part of the fun of doing it. No, I don't have any Mauser replicas. I've got a deactivated Lee Enfield, and that's it in terms of bolt guns. That's a good idea, Rich. I should make a Cocoscope account, but I've not done it yet. I'll have to check for you. I can get the actual page up. I bought it. The order in total was about £200, and that was with both the air guns, the CO2, the pellets or BBs, and what's it? The like signed for delivery thing. So let me just find that. Here we go. It is £119.99. No, you can't send pictures through chat. Yeah, I replied to your comment on that, your mother, but as far as I'm aware, the pistol crossbows that shoot the BBs are very specialised, because you'd need a special rail for it, like you said. But they need to be ones that are a lower draw weight so it doesn't cause a dry fire, because the issue is generally bolts weigh more than the BBs. So if you had like a little BB, Richard might be able to tell you because he has a crossbow that can shoot BBs and bolts. The issue is obviously that if you had a full power crossbow or full power pistol crossbow and then you tried to shoot BBs out of it, even if you fit the thing, it could cause a dry fire breakage, because the BB might not be heavy enough that, you know, it pushes against a string even? I don't know, I was going to say spring. What's one of those? I'll have to Google it. Iron Man. That's a very nice looking sword, but at the moment I don't have any plans to get any more swords. I don't get what you're asking for there, Tash. What do you mean in my next video? Yeah, this is very satisfying to hold. I've already done a video like that, some random guy, so learn to watch older videos. I'm not saying that to be mean, I'm just saying look for older videos before you ask something. Which one's the M out? As for the lag, I can get them on British eBays, but obviously I can't look on American eBay for you, so there's not much I can do for you there. The only thing that I'd like with this one is if the thing that's meant to hold the slide actually moves. The weird thing is it feels like it should move on there, but I can't actually seem to get it to, so let's just pull this back. I don't know if I need to disengage the safety to yeah, the sort of hold open bit on there feels like it should move, but I can't actually seem to get it to, which is strange, but it's not a big issue, but it's just one of those things. It's a Beretta PX4 airgun replica, so it shoots 177 or 4.5mm BBs. No, I don't have a Draeger M2000. Let's put that back on safe, even though it's not got a CO2 thing in it. Yeah, it's pretty fun to play about with this, as much as you shouldn't play with guns. No, I've never seen that, Bartos, so I can't comment. Yep, these. Or you can use 177 pellets if you want to in this one. No, I don't use Reddit. Technically, I've got an account, but I don't use Reddit because I find most Reddits are pretty boring, to be honest. Well, PAL packs were very good peach when I bought these. Within a week from the day of ordering, they had me a delivery slot sorted and had them delivered. So, that's very good for me. These are steel BBs. I think it said on the box use steel BBs, not copper. And they were the ones PAL packs recommended to buy with the gun. Because if you're shipping to another country, Lava Llama, of course it's going to be expensive. If you're shipping domestically in a country, the shipping and postage prices are much cheaper, aren't they, than if you have to pay international freight and customs things. Yeah, notice that in the background as well, Peach. I really wanted to cock this, but I know I obviously can't because then I need to load it because you're not meant to dry fire these. But yeah, Daisy Red Rider. I might do a video shooting this tomorrow, although it won't be live for like a month. Also, if anybody didn't notice, annoyingly, for some reason, 2 videos went live today. Which I guess is just where, because I do so many videos in advance, I cocked up thinking I hadn't done one video for a certain date. So generally, my channel actually suffers a bit when I do that, because rather than 2 videos meaning twice the views, it actually means the views get halved between each video. It's the leather bit came on that I took off just on the stream because I don't want a random like leather tassel on it. Well, I've already shown the katana lots of times, Tash, so watch the videos where I show the katana. I'm not getting it down off display now. I've got the display all set up how I want it. Yeah, I watched one of Airgun Gear Show's videos on that, and that was the first thing he said, is like, sorry, it has to go because it just gets in the way and it doesn't serve a purpose. In about a month's time, Lava Llama, I filmed a video on it, the one that's sitting there. It'll be a month's time, and then the video on the MSA Hour will be just over a month's time because I got to film the video on that this week. Thing is, Bing, I don't know if 350 FPS with a steel BB would actually be humane, because personally I'd want sort of 600 FPS with a proper lead pellet. But yeah, I suppose in theory you could do it. It's just personally I would use a proper full-size air rifle for ratting. Alright, have fun at the beach, Killstrike Gaming. It looked nastier than it was, but we disinfected it and everything. No, I don't have a Mauser or a Mauser's bayonet. Because I do a lot of videos, Lava Llama. It'd be totally impossible for me to film and edit a video on the day I want to put a video up. If I end up really enjoying this PX4, I might end up getting different air pistols, because I do want a 1911 at some point. There's some submachine guns that have bayonets, so in theory a pistol with a bayonet could work. I think I've seen some old, like revolvers, you know, like Wild West ones that actually had bayonets on. But that was just like a little tiny blade, you know, that came out a bit further than the barrel. Just so, I think it was, if you were in a last stand sort of scenario, you could just start doing that with the gun to, stab. Yeah, 177 tends to penetrate better because it's, in the UK at least, where you've got the 12 foot-pound limit. If you had the same air rifle limited to 12 foot-pounds of either pellet, in theory the 177 is going to be travelling faster, therefore penetrate better, due to how our law works. But if you had no limit to the power on either, in theory 22 should be better, shouldn't it, or 22? Because you've got, you know, if you've got enough power with 22, it's still going to penetrate well and it's going to expand well. My favourite gas mask out of all the ones I've got is an Avon CT12. Out of the ones on the wall, probably the GP5M. But I also really like that blue PTM1, even though it's not actually a gas mask. I'd love a working SLR rather than the deactivated one if I could have a real one. Right arm of the free world. As I said a few times, because they're like over £100 for just a cheap bayonet, I am not going to pay that for it. They're rip-off prices. Like, you can get most rifle bayonets in the UK are like £20 to £30 unless they're particularly rare ones. SLR bayonets aren't rare, but lots of companies want to charge you over £100 for them, and I'm not paying £100 for what's essentially, you know, like a small, mediocre bayonet. What do you mean, what is the model from? It's a Czech mask. If it's, you know, it's got Czech in the name, as in Czechoslovakia or Czech Republic. Out of the 2 Bulgarian masks I've got, Quentin, the PG1. Oh, 3M's a good company. I'm not surprised it works. The only problem with a crossbow bayonet is it would get in the way, wouldn't it, when you use the, what's it, to cock it, unless you had one that was an underfolder bayonet somehow. Alright, cheers, Zanacious. As I said, the problem was today that 2 videos went live, so I imagine most people have seen one video and not the other. But, does anybody saying that know a good Chernobyl charity? I've heard of both Chernobyl Heart and I think Children of Chernobyl, because I was looking into donating to one of them, but I don't like to donate to charities unless I know a lot about them, because there's obviously lots of charities where you can donate money, and then very little of that money goes towards the cause you're actually meant to be donating for. No, well, you only get a tan GP5 if your GP5's discolour lava llama. In theory, that one that's on display there will discolour eventually, because the longer it's up there and sunlight hits it, the more it will discolour. Maybe because Poland sold it off, Bartos, when they're upgrading equipment. That would be my guess anyway. Like, you know, how lots of countries, when they surplus equipment, they just sell it anyway. Some militaries use them for cheap training tools, Zeppelin, but that's as far as it goes. They would never use it for, like, military stuff. If you go back a long way in history, there were a couple of military air guns that were in the musket period, where they had a lot of advantages over muskets, but obviously they were a bit too complicated and expensive to make, so they never really caught on. eBay, hardware stores, Bearded Lumberjack. Yeah, or you could do an underfolder, couldn't you, Mike? If you, in theory, I know this sounds a bit silly, but could you somehow have a knife like this strapped to it, where you can, I shouldn't do it by the blade, but where you can open it like that, you know, as like an underfolder, so it locks like a bayonet like that, and then it folds back up and locks. Alright, cool, nice to have you on mechanised and weaponised. I'll show you the air guns. But in theory, I imagine if you did a knife mechanism like that, that would work as a bayonet, Mike, because at least you can have it out the way when you don't want it open. Favourite nocturnal sound? I quite like owls. I've already done a glove test video, Quentin, on my not armed police, UK riot police gloves, and, you know, I hit them with knives and things and they didn't go through. When you go on a tour there, if it's on a proper tour, they give you a dosimeter on the tour. So I'm assuming they tell you not to pick up and eat things, and, you know, wash your hands afterwards, but otherwise there's no equipment needed because you're in safe areas when you're on a tour. I assume they would, Tash. Lots of the Polish masks are MP for the military mask, so I assume it just means protective mask or something like that. You know, like protective mask 5 for MP5, essentially. What, one of these? Already got one. Well, it has to be fairly hard to cock, doesn't it, Peach? Because it is essentially an air gun. Favourite animal? Probably dogs. But yeah, so here you go, mechanised and weaponised. Here's the Daisy Red Rider. And here's the PX4. And I was just trying this just now with some not pistol drills, but trying it with a gas mask on, and yeah, I could actually see down the sights right with the mask on. Yeah, I've got a Chinese Type 65. Or M65. They've already shut down, sadly, Zeppelin. If it was a spring-activated bayonet Aegis, it would be illegal in the UK because that would count as whatever the rule is on we have now on spring-assisted knives, whatever it is. Yeah, I like Richard's idea because I think that's what they did with the SKS bayonets, wasn't it? Triangular bayonets, so they weren't sharp to pull out with your hand to lock into the forward position, but they were obviously effective at stabbing. They're used in Desert Storm, yeah, M17s in the US. Yeah, exactly, I'll be able to use this in the garden, and my friend's got a proper shooting range set up in his garden, because he actually does, like, competition 177 shooting. You know, like a PCP rifle and that, so he doesn't like me bringing crossbows over, because they're a bit too powerful, but he's got a proper gun range set up for 2.2 and 177 air guns, so he'd love to have a go with something like this. NBC CBRN suit. The best one I've got is the Polish Fu-1 suit, whatever it's called, the modern Polish one. But out of like the more retro stuff, probably the Polish L1 suit. I don't really have any interest in the Call of Duty games, as I've said a lot of times, so I've not paid any attention to the new Modern Warfare thing. If you're into the Call of Duty games though, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. That's the size of the magazine, Peach, but it's actually, if you're using it with 177s, you load up each side, so then you get however many shots on one side, then you can flip it over and get more shots on the other. But if you're using steel BBs, I assume it probably loads to about halfway. How many things are on there? One. It'll actually say on the thing, won't it? But it's hard to count actually with Is the Tyvek one like the one I've got, the orange one? If so, it crinkles a lot, and it's designed to be disposable rather than reusable. Yeah, if you want to donate, Requois, you can do it either through the Patreon below, or you can do it for a super chat. If you do either, you get on the community Discord server. It probably says on the box. Let me have a look for you, Peach. "16 rounds, so it has 8 on each side of the magazine." Yeah, interesting. But yeah, you either load the 177 or steel BBs by the look of it into that bit. Don't know if that's a bit too bright to show on my webcam, but yeah. You load the steel BBs or 177 pellets in there, then you just, swap it over. Right, thank you very much. Do you have a Discord, Roquois, if I'm saying that right? If you do, post your Discord ID in the thing, and I can invite you to the server. Probably some of the rubber suits, Lava Llama. Modern rebreathers work the same way as older rebreathers, as in they use a sort of chemical compound to scrub CO2 from an oxygen bladder. Yeah, the UK's current camo is MTB, yeah. I think they're developing an urban camo that I've seen in some pictures, which is like a red brick looking thing. No, there's no way of sending me fan mail, except for some people I really trust. I don't give out my address to anybody, and opening a PO box costs too much money. I'll Google it, but I'm sure it's a helmet that I can't buy. Oh, it's one of those Soviet titanium helmets. The answer is no, because there's too many fakes around and I'm not spending like several £100s on a helmet. Because they sold it to people, Bartos. As I said, if you sell your equipment back to a country, you obviously don't, sell it to a different country, you obviously don't want it anymore, do you? Well, lots of navies used to use blue camo until they realised it was a terrible idea, because if somebody falls overboard, it's hard to fish him back out the water. I've already got several military helmets, Quentin. I don't really need any more, to be honest. I've got riot helmets, I've got, military Kevlar helmets. Oh, what do you get out of donating, do you mean? You get access to a Discord server, that's it. You're donating because you want to support my channel. Otherwise it wouldn't be a donation, would it? It'd be a transaction. But what do I get out of you donating? I buy stuff like this. The UK used to be like that, Aegis, but now it's not. It's basically some knives are totally restricted. In your house you can own a lot of different types of knives, but to take them out on you, unless you have a reasonable excuse for having them, you can't sort of carry them on you. I've got a couple of masks on order, CLBT. One of the most interesting ones that will be coming soon is a Chinese one. That's like a Chinese sort of interestingly made mask that looks a bit like a 3M mask, but in 40mm. My oldest mask, probably something like that Mark IV over there, as in like a pre-World War II British mask. So, somewhere from the 1930s. Tell you what I want to do, because as I said I'm not going to shoot it inside, but I just want to see out of interest how easy it is to do. There's 4 steel BBs. So what I just want to do is see how well it holds them in the thing. Oh yeah. You'll be able to see this in a moment. I can't really hold it up to the camera while I do it, but Right. I don't really have any decontamination gear, Bing. The only thing I've got is my FM12 came with a decon kit in its bag. But other than that, I don't have any, so I can't really advise you on that. I know that they actually use sodium hydroxide to decontaminate a lot of stuff, but that's very bad if you get it on your skin. But it does destroy things like nerve agent. So yeah, there you go. It's got the rounds in there, look. So now, yeah, it's loaded. Obviously, I've not cocked the slide, so it's not going to pull one into the chamber, but that's interesting. You're on about the old Soviet and Polish night vision goggles, aren't you? The infrared ones. I don't have any of them, but I know what they are. As said, I'm not getting involved in E-drama, EH music. There's probably some very good information on our gas masks. There's also a lot of shit posting. Lots of people on there don't like me, and as said, I'm not getting involved in E-drama towards it. I don't post on there, so don't ask my opinion of it, really. When you mean a biohazard suit, what do you mean? A hazmat suit or NBC suits? I've already got plenty of NBC suits. No point me buying a hazmat suit because I don't have an air tank to use with it. Personally, no, Zach. Unless you're collecting it for historical reasons, you can get much better modern night vision stuff. And it's Gen 0 night vision, so you need an IR lamp to use it. Well, it depends on what country's definition you go off of CLBT. But in terms of, like in the UK, hazmat would be... Well, hazmat just means hazardous materials. But when people think hazmat suits, they think of the positive pressure suits that use an air tank to keep the suit positive pressure. An NBC suit is literally just a suit that covers all your body except where you're using the gas mask. Just so it's like a waterproof suit. No, I don't have any German World War I gas masks or any other World War I gas masks. Sounds interesting, Peach. I can't guess what, so you have to tell us. As we said in Everstream, several thousand, but I can't work it out more than that. Now, at some point I would love to get a FLIR camera laser, but FLIRs are very expensive, so until I've got a load of spare money and not much to spend it on, I won't be getting a FLIR. Cheers, Seals, glad you like the videos. No, I don't have a Glock. Either real or a replica one. Well, I haven't actually started shooting it yet, have I, Peach? But that would be how I would hold it, probably. Although I do like the retro way they used to hold these guns. If you've seen the old ways, where they stand at a right angle to the gun and do that. That's how the US used to teach people to shoot 1911s. I'll just go into frame a bit more so you can see how I'm standing. But where you stand at a right angle to the target. Like that. And aim down your arm. Because that is quite a good way of shooting, but it's obviously not very good for controlling recoil, but it does give you very accurate, shooting on your first shot. Tell you what, just to be safe, I'm going to actually put those pellets back into the thing for now. But hopefully I'll get a chance to shoot this tomorrow. Can I get them to come out by doing this? I don't know. Thing is though, I don't know if reusing steel BBs would do your gun any good. They're not coming out easily, so I don't think I have to worry about them falling out, to be honest. I'll load them in this way up though, just so I don't have to worry about pulling them into the gun until I'm ready to shoot it. That would technically be the AKM thing, because the AK-47 is fairly rare, the real AK-47. When people say AK-47, they mean the AKM. I'd like a Canadian C4 at some point. I think Australia does have the MEH music, because Sophistry, I think it is, who comes on my streams a lot, is on my Discord, has been posting pictures of Australian troops with them, and they look nice. Alright, see you, Zanacious. When I stream tomorrow, just to warn you, it will be 6 o'clock or a bit earlier, because I've got a slightly longer than normal rehearsal tomorrow, so I obviously can't stream at 8 o'clock. Avon CT12 Beastbox Gaming, and that has been asked before. It gets asked several times on every stream. Anything I like the sound of, Laser Tazor, so prog rock is one of my favourite genres, but sadly it's quite a dead genre now. Nobody really makes prog rock anymore. I think it's just a smaller model of the regular PDF. You can see one of the pictures on there has one with the XL valve slightly to the side, but I think it's just depending on the size of the PDF. The smaller ones, the valve can't be under the hose because otherwise it would be in the way. I do like how far that actually shoots the magazine out. It's got a decent magazine release in this look. So if I hold that there, put my hand there. Great, and do you mean carbon monoxide, CLBT? I've never used any of those escape hoods. If I saw one really cheap, I'd buy one and review one, but most of the time I've seen escape hoods, they've been quite expensive. Only comes with one mag, yeah, Peach, but you can buy other mags quite cheaply, but I wasn't going to do that because I thought I might as well, you know, just eject the mag, swap it round, then, you know, refill the magazine. Because I don't want to go through my CO2 really fast, which I'd probably do if I preloaded like 5 mags. Avon CT12 Requoise, same as it's my favourite gas mask, full stop. Looks cool and is cool. You can buy rebreathers on eBay, but I would seriously not suggest using a rebreather unless you're properly trained to use one and use a modern one. There you go, I'll let you read it on the side. Well, tear gas is mostly a particulate, so 3M particle filters will give you most of the protection you need. Anything you want, Lava Llama. French M51, German M65, Israeli M15, GP5, any Soviet mask, up to you. That's probably for a brand new one, CLBT, but yeah. Like I said, I wouldn't pay for an escape hood unless I saw a really cheap one, because when you open it, you're already wearing the filter down. They don't have replaceable filters. It looks cool, rusted, but it's made from silicon, and that isn't very good to make gas masks out of, as I've said a few times. Yeah, if I see one for cheap, I might get one at some point. Probably in the middle of the week, Luke. Oh, by the way, there won't be a stream Thursday, and if there is a stream Friday, it'll have to be really early on, because I've got to play this Thursday and Friday. What do you mean by bring out my American masks again? They've not gone anywhere, they're in the house. To be honest, I don't really know CLBT, because a lot of that is personal preference and what you like on masks. No idea, Zeppelin, maybe when all this Tory leadership bollocks is sorted out. But as you know, I'm not a massive fan of talking about politics. And yeah, same to you, Bing. When that's all decided, I might do a politics stream, but it also depends what day of the week it is and if I'm busy that day. I'm not going to keep making videos, EH Music, on stuff I've already made videos on, because that's just kind of boring, isn't it? If you want to see videos on some of the stuff, rewatch those videos. You know, if I have a good reason to include them in another video, then I'll include them, but I'm not going to say my American gas mask collection again and show the exact same masks as the last time. eBay. Literally everything I get Lava Llama is eBay, unless it's very specialised, being somewhere else, like an air pistol. I've got silicone lubricant for airsoft guns, Peach, so I just use that, to be honest, because that's designed for air guns. I already did the other day, Zeppelin, but if I do shoot this at his range, I'll do that. But when we say range, we mean back garden, section of a back garden converted into a range. Over an hour, Bing. And what sort of processor do you have? Because if you've got an oldish processor, it's going to take a very long time. I quite like the MP5, but it depends a lot on the quality of the the individual mask, because although my one's in good condition, lots of people report they can get these and they're like in really bad condition. So while my one is good, that doesn't necessarily mean all the MP5s are good, but from my one I can't find any complaints really. They're called car boot sales over here, Bartos, but yeah, we have those. Which rifle? You have to specify which one when you say what's the rifle. There's a Red Rider down there as well now. You'd have to buy replacement straps. Oh wait, no, on an M65 I don't think you can replace the straps because they're vulcanised on. So buy a new mask is the answer to that, sadly. Rammstein's alright, but I haven't listened to their stuff in ages. I've only really listened to the Mutter album. Oh, I've got one in free oil. So where's the oil hole on the Daisy then, Pete? Show me. Where's the oil hole? Oh, oil here. Yeah, there we go. It literally says oil here. Yeah, so on the receiver basically near the front sight. It's quite good to use one-handed. I'm making little children sort of imitation noises with the air guns. You know something's going wrong, don't you? You send me your Discord ID, Lava Llama. Right, I won't bother for the first 100 shots then, Peach, and then I'll just put a little bit of oil in every sort of 100 or so shots. No, at the moment, Zeppelin, there's no airgun license system in the UK. Well, England. Other than, you know, like the laws on 12 foot-pounds, etc. Oh, there's two rifles beside the poster. There's a Lee Enfield, there's an SLR. Yeah, if you get one in good condition, $31.99 is a very good price for it, Michael, but if it's in bad condition, then it's not. I know that sounds a bit of a silly way of answering it, but it's one of those masks where they do seem to have very mixed quality control. Like, my one's in very good condition, but I've seen some where, like, the visors are all kind of yellowed and cracked and everything. Oh, I didn't know they sight them in for you. I know there was a thing where I could tick a box, and I ticked it that said, please send me the guns fully constructed and all that. So yeah, it's probably when you do that. But yeah, that's good. I mean, I don't know what range they sight them in at, but yeah, that's good. Yeah, L1A1 SLR, which is the British-built version of the FN FAL. So it's the FN FAL just in semi-automatic only, with a trigger guard you can expand for if you're using it with like mittens. It's got a forward assist on it, unlike a lot of the FALs, so you know you can unjam it more easily if you started crudding the gun up, sort of thing. But other than that, there's not many massive differences between the SLR and a normal FAL. Alright, sounds good, Peach. So will it go pew 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 if you get the suppressor? Or will it still be louder anyway? It'll be cool regardless. I can see that particular comment rusted, but I haven't seen any comments from you in a while from before. Well, that poster already said I bought it on eBay. Just search Soviet poster on eBay and you'll find loads like that, or civil defence posters. Right, see if you're off, Bartos. It's 40mm Ghost. That's a bit of a problem with it. It fogs up quite easily, but other than that, there's not really any flaws with the MC1 because it's a very simple mask and it works well at being a simple mask. Yeah, they look nice because you sent me the link for those, didn't you? Or you told me about them and I looked them up. But yeah, like I said, if I get on with this air pistol, I'll see if I can get any more like very good 1-1 kind of replica air guns. Sadly, as I've said, Rusted, I only have one decontamination kit I'm keeping sealed in case I need it. But the thing is, with a lot of chemical stuff like that, I'm not really qualified to talk about it, so I don't really want to, you know, give people advice if it could be dangerous advice. That's cool. Comes with a little carry box as well, does it? That's very cool. Yeah, I like the Yugo M2 or Serbian M2, depending on what year it's from. It won't let you put links in the chat, Lava Llama, because only mods or me can put links in the chat, otherwise YouTube holds your comment as spam. The Yugoslav M1 mask isn't very good, because it's just a very cheap US M9 copy. The Yugoslav M2, this name cannot be insulted, is very good. So it depends on which generation you go for. The M2 is good, the M1 isn't. The MC1 is even worse. Because the MC1 is the M1 but without even an oral nasal cup in it. Yeah, as Mechanized and Weaponized said, go on eBay and be prepared to potentially have to spend quite a bit. Let me check that out quickly, Mike, and then I'll unblock that person. If it's not somebody that's asked before and then, you know, been reblocked. Is it on the newest first? Delta Gaming. Right, I'll unblock that person if they've been blocked. They've not been one of the people that's recently been blocked anyway. Right, done. What about the GP5M? It's pretty good. Generally, for insulting other people in the chat, this name cannot be insulted, or spamming stuff over and over and over. Basically, for most people, if you're not a dickhead, you won't get blocked, but for most of the time, like I said, it's just when people, like, if you ask them not to talk about something, they keep talking about it. That sort of thing. Or it could be, you know, sending death threats to people or stuff like that. Yeah, GP5M is pretty good, it's just literally a GP5 with a voice diaphragm. I'd say PMG2 GP5M just because it's got a bigger voice diaphragm, but both masks are nice. Right, I'll go off fairly soon. If anybody's got any questions or anything they want to say before they go off, let me know. I'll just give you a minute to get your questions and if you're going to bother asking some more. Yeah, and as Richard said, don't forget to like the stream, everybody, because it seems to help them get shared a lot if people like them. GP5M is better than the TF1. TF1 is probably a little bit better than the GP5. GP5, you need to give your name. You don't need to give another donation, but thank you. So what you need to do is put your Discord name. You can do it in a later comment if it's easier for you. You need to put your Discord name and your number. So your number is obviously 8868, but you'll need to put your Discord name as well. I have a Team Fortress 2 on my Steam account, but I don't have a TF2 if that's a mask. A Polish MC1 or a Yugoslavian MC1. If it's a Polish MC1, the Polish one. If it's a Yugoslavian MC1, by a mile, the GP5. Yeah, that's cool. I like the revolvers where they've got like the little metal bit. Or is that one the revolvers where you just load the pellets in separately? Because some of the revolvers have like fake cartridges, don't they, where you put the things in the thing. Right, Ace Official 2. Let me sort that out for you before I go off. Well, at the moment I don't really have room for a baby's gas mask. If you mean like a British baby pump style mask. Now, let me just try and sort out your friend's request before I finish the stream. Friends. 8868. Send friend request. It says it didn't work. It's definitely 8868, is it? I've got Ace Official 2 hashtag 8868, but that's not saying there's a Discord name of that thing. That's cool. Yeah, I know which one you mean picture-wise now, looking at it, TF2, but yeah, I didn't know it was called that. There's something not spelt right about that then, or whatever. Let me try it all lowercase and see if that helps. Nope. Try it with a capital A. No. Right, unfortunately, until you get the right ID, I can't add you to the server. Because it's not accepting it. It just says, didn't work, double check that the capitalization, spelling, any spaces and numbers are correct. Right, Neo stuff. Only for hunting, Zach. They wouldn't be much good for much else. I'll just stay on a minute or so longer so Requois can check if the spelling was correct on his username, but as you've got it at the moment, I can't add you to my thing because it's saying your account name isn't valid. Alright, I'll show you hype. I'll show you the MP5 thing as well before I go off. I was just going to go off like a minute ago, so glad you're on now. Right, so as you requested, I'll do a proper video on this, but... and I can see down there fine. Alright, thanks for letting me know, Mike. I'll watch your film in a bit. So that's the PX4. There's the Daisy Red Rider. I can just about see the front iron sight on there. That's a bit harder with the MP5 on actually, but I can just about line it up. Right, let me try again rec hoist for you. Right, so 8's official 28868. What's the like little I bit you keep putting after it? Because a Discord bit wouldn't have that after the number, or is that just separate the thing from your actual thing? But let me try again. Yeah, it worked that time, so I don't know what was different about it. It must have just been a capitalisation thing, was it? But yeah, it worked. So, okay, I've sent you a friend's request. So, if you accept the friend's request, then as soon as you accept that, I can invite you onto the server. I just actually want to see if I can notice a difference in the spelling on either of them. Looking at them, I can't. There must have been something different in it. Other than the cover, I don't think, Alex. The Red Rider height, what you do is, I've not had a chance to shoot it yet, and it's dark outside, so I'm not going to go in the garden and do it now, is you open this bit here. If I'm doing that correct, I think you maybe push it in slightly. Yeah, there you go. So you open that bit there on the barrel, and then you would simply pour metal BBs down the thing. It can hold 650 apparently. You close that back up, and then you basically just crank it with the gun at a slightly upwards angle so gravity makes them go in. But then yeah, you'd crank it, shoot, crank it, shoot. Yeah, there is a bit of distortion, but at least where I hold the pistol, it doesn't seem to cause a problem. As I said, it probably depends on the iron sight of the gun and everything else, but with the PX4, what helps as well is that you've got like the high contrast. I'll check if that's glow in the dark, but I don't think it is. You've got like the high contrast white dots there. So if I can arrange that so the webcam's looking down it, maybe. But yeah, as you've got the white dots, I'll just check if it's glow in the dark. I don't think so. I think it's just like very bright white looking at that. But, yeah, regardless, that should work quite well. But again, if they were just black iron sights without the white on it, might be a bit harder with the MP5. But I'll do a video shooting it with the MP5 on at some point. So, in regards to the magazine on this one, basically, and I've put that in the way I said I wouldn't do it again, you've got 8 bits on each side for BBs or 177 pellets, and then 8 on the other side of the mag, and then obviously load it in, and then when you're shooting it, it obviously just pulls them in, just as it conventionally would, basically. So yeah, you get 16 shots of mag. I didn't buy any spare mags for this, so I've just got the 1 mag for now, but yeah. And if I just take the safety off a moment, it's got quite a stiff safety thing because it's designed so it's hard to take the safety off by accident. There we go. It looks like the blowback will pull the thing back quite far, because the blowback goes to at least there. So I'll put the safety back on now. But, yeah. There isn't a theme and I'm just going off. Ooh, I just ejected the mag by accident then, while knocking the thing. You did ask it already, Alex, and I said I don't know. I don't think there is one other than one's got a plastic cover and one's got a metal cover. I think both have the little plastic kind of cellophane-y kind of bit in the middle. I don't know yet, Hype, because I've not fired all the rounds. It's got a thing on there that moves like it should lock open, but the thing is I'm not sure if it will, because when I was pulling the slide back to try and do it, I couldn't actually spot anything on there that would catch it. But it has got like a bit that sticks out and is made from a separate material, so it looks like there should be something that locks it open, but I can't. But we'll have to see when I've actually got the gas and everything in it, if that makes a difference. Just take the safety off again and make sure it's not got any energy stored in it. Oh, okay, so the hammer still... You can still do a dry fire drill like that. That's quite good. Not that I should really probably be doing that, but it's sort of interesting to know. Any mask, Neo stuff, because you just need a particulate filter, but if a proper nuclear war goes off, you probably need to worry a bit more than just having a respirator. Anyway, I'll finish the mask off now. Not the mask off, I'll finish the stream off now, because it's been an hour and 16 minutes. But thanks for coming on, everybody. The questions about the airgun have been pretty good. Glad you got the thing sorted, Reckroy, so I'll send you... oh, have you accepted the thing? Yes, you have. Right, let me invite you to the server. Right, your invite's been sent. So, cheers. Thanks, Hype. So, I will be streaming tomorrow, but as said, yeah, enjoy your sleep, Mike, if you're still hungover. But as said, I'm going to have to stream quite early tomorrow, maybe 5 PM, because as said, the issue is where I've got a rehearsal tomorrow, because it's the last rehearsal we've got, because we had a 4-hour rehearsal earlier, because the play's on Thursday and Friday, we're not going to have an option to actually, you know, get any more rehearsals in, so we're going to have an extra half hour on our 2-hour rehearsal tomorrow. So I'm going to need to leave at 7:30 to get down there, so I'm probably going to stream 5 PM tomorrow. But I'm going to see if I get a chance, hopefully, to either do a video tomorrow on the Red Rider or this one. Because I'm helping my friend walk his dogs, and he's got the air gun range set up in his garden. I'm sure he would be happy for me to bring him over if he gets to play about with them. I'll take my goggles down, actually, just in case I get a ricocheting BB. But, yeah, thanks, everybody. Hope you've all enjoyed the stream, and thank you for the donations, Rekois, if I'm saying that right. Thanks again. Right, see ya.